My experience is that clarity doesn't come from doing more. It comes from slowing down and seeing what life can actually hold for you. That is why I stopped planning my creative year the way everybody else told me to, because it was slowly breaking me and eating me apart. So I decided to do things in my own way that works for me as a creative mother. And I believe that your creative year already exists and it doesn't live in a planner. Hi, my name's Rebekah Victoria and welcome back to my studio. I am a professional fine art painter with a bachelor degree in fine art from Melbourne and from Paris. Welcome. From my experience, clarity has really come from capacity and not desire. Because desire is infinite and capacity is a bit more seasonal. And I found that motherhood really hasn't reduced my capacity. It has just like recalibrated it and like just put a spin on it that wasn't there before. My clarity really began when I started asking myself some really important questions, such as how much energy do I realistically have? How much energy in my day do I have to put towards exercise, eating well, caring for my children, feeding them well, bathing them, getting them ready for bed, and then on top of it being a wife, adding a house duties, and my most favorite part is being creative. How do you fit all of that in? So I really had to reassess and see how much energy I realistically had in the tank and decide where I wanted to use this energy. Another thing that I really focused a lot on last year was, what does my body need to stay regulated? And this is such a personal thing because everybody's body is different. Everybody needs different things. And I think there's so much beauty in that. For me, I need to have a lot of sleep to function properly and stay regulated. I need to be exercising to help my body process things. And I also really need to be painting because that helps my mind grow in so many ways and it helps me process so many emotions. And it's just a really huge part of who I am. And this is a big part of me staying regulated. And once I put that little bit of the puzzle into it and into understanding who I am and how I need to be, I think it really shifted things, knowing how much I need to be creative and how important this is in my life. And it threw the balance back into place, and it really helped me to take the power back and understand that it's okay to do things for yourself. It's okay to do things that help you stay regulated, and it's actually really important too for everybody else in your life. And the last question that I really kind of struggled with was, what kind of creativity fits with the season of life that you are in right now? For me, I have young kids. I have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. They are extremely busy, go-getters, barely sit down, barely rest. But the season of life that I'm in is when I have them at home, I don't really have too much capacity to create too much. But I have to remember that it is a key part for me to stay regulated. So for me, I had to look for ways that I could be creative in the time that I had. I have a video that I already created about creating in the margins of life when you don't have a lot of time, when you have dependents that you are looking after every day. And I'll link that here because that could be really useful for you. But I really found that if your creative plans don't align with your regulation and are ignoring your capacity that you have, then you're going to quietly self-betray yourself and you're going to ultimately end up in burnout. And that is not something that I want for anybody because it's an awful place to be. Intention really isn't about output, it's about the direction that you choose to go in. You can choose anything in your life, you can choose whatever you want to be. And it's so important to choose wisely, to really take the time and make the decision to choose things that really align with what you want, which light you up, which turn you into the most fiery, fun, exciting version of yourself. For me, that's art and my family and doing things. I love just being out in nature and going for a walk when I can, or going to take the kids sledding and things like that. That lights me up. It's just all the things around it are really hard. So if you're so focused on output only, this can really from my experience, create a lot of shame when you can't keep up with what you expected yourself to do, or if life intervenes and you have a sick kid home and you can't do everything you needed to do. You have to be more flexible and more allowing for things to change, and not expect yourself to rigidly stick to a plan, but instead just focus on, even if it's one step you could do that day that could go towards the direction you want to go to. That is so powerful, and that is more than doing nothing. So if things aren't sticking to your plan that you created for yourself for the year, it's already like January and you might already be falling off the wagon. I have a little myself with exercise because I've had my kids home and it's been busy and I haven't been able to do everything that I wanted to do. But if I am focused on where I'm going, the direction I want to take, and these direction-based decisions, I think it creates a lot of permission to just be in the moment, be who you are, and not worry about the output. Just do as much as you actually can and honor yourself for that, because that is a great thing. Just doing something is better than doing nothing. So for me, this could be if I have my kids home and I really feel like I need to be creative, I find ways to be creative that don't require me to have too much physical strenuous output and don't require a big recovery. So something like doing some baking with my daughter, or I've found that doing drawing and painting on my iPad in Procreate is just like so good for me in that sense, because I can draw and be creative whenever I want to. I just pick up the pencil and go, and I don't feel like I have to recover from that. I feel really energized actually for it. So that tells me that it's in alignment with what I want and what I need, and it tells me that it's a positive thing for me. It gives me energy, it doesn't drain me, and I don't have to recover from it whatsoever, and that's gold. Another thing I like to tell myself is I am going to stay in a relationship with my art for the rest of my life. Whether I produce artwork or not, it makes no difference, but I am intentionally saying that art is going to be in my life no matter what. And if that means no output today, that's okay. There's always tomorrow, there's always next year, there's always 10 years from now. I know that it's going to stay in my art forever and it's never going to be lost, so I never have to worry about that. So that really takes a lot of the pressure off me, because I tend to really bully myself in my head when I don't get things done that I intended to, and doing this and saying this really helps take the pressure off. It makes me realize that there is a lot of time and it's okay to take things slowly and do things at my own pace, do things on my own timeline, and really honor what my body needs. And I also just make sure that I let the small acts count. I make sure that I know that it's okay to do something little and that counts. That is enough. And just be really kind to myself. By doing these things, I'm allowing for so much space for my creativity, and I'm just trying to take all the pressure away that I can. I'm really trying to take away the pressure, that huge sandbag on my back that I have imposed on myself, that I have to be productive and be in hustle culture and get out there and get likes and comments and yada yada. I am taking that sandbag off my back and I am throwing it out the goddamn window, because I don't want that kind of pressure. It does not lead to creativity for me. Creativity for me is doing things that feel good, doing things that give me energy, as I said, and just really taking the pressure away, because the pressure really narrows my creativity and the space invites more creativity in. So creating from a place of space really feels like I'm creating with the door wide open. And when there's pressure and when I'm putting all this constraints on myself, it feels like the door is locked and the roof is caving in at the same time, and I just feel so stuck and trapped, and that's not a place I want to be in. So for me, the mental space really matters to my creativity, and it's really important to everything else that surrounds it. Sometimes it's okay to just create fewer projects and take a few things off your plate and just really focus on being present and not worrying about the bigger picture if you can. I know it's really hard. It's taken me a long time to get to this point. I truly believe you can do it too. It just takes time and work and patience, and you'll get there. Because I know that my art doesn't disappear when I pause, and I know that your art won't either. You will get there. It'll wait for you just like it's waited for me. So planning and seeing your creative year ahead, it isn't about predicting what it's going to look like exactly. It's about choosing how you want it to feel and be, carefully and with creativity and kindness. And remembering that your year doesn't have to prove anything. It really doesn't. It's okay for it to be slower if it needs to be. It needs to be livable and honest and kind. And just remember that your art is always going to stay with you no matter what. It is never going to leave you, and it understands that sometimes you can't do it all, and sometimes the thing that's got to give may be a little bit of creative time. And that's okay. So take the pressure off yourself and trust yourself, and remember that clarity is found when you trust yourself, and just listen to those little nudges that the universe throws down to you, and just follow them with kindness and openness and whatever makes you happy. So that is what I wanted to chat about today. I hope that this maybe resonated with some of you, and if it did, I would love it if we could chat further down in the comments. I would also love it if you could subscribe and maybe share this with someone that you think it may resonate with. I am sending you so much love, and I'm really hoping that you might have a little bit of time in your day today to do something creative. And if not, that's okay too. Anyway, bye.